Howdy, folks. Welcome back to the Summit for China. We're getting ready for game number 2 of IG versus Newbee. Godz, Newbee, leading 1-0.
Newbee good so far, and a team that really seems to have found their flair once again. They were kind of the RPG laughing stock of the Dota 2 community for a while. Not to say deservedly so, but still a team who was kind of inconsistently showing some results here and there. But it feels like with the Hal back in the team, they are looking solid week after week right now.
Hey, you win TI, anything less than first place, you're going to get flamed. We saw it from IG at ESL 1. We saw it again when they fell just short at MLG. And, well, Newbee, they've got the chains cast aside as far as that goes, since there is a new champion for the International. But with that said, guys, game 2 is underway. Let's see what the teams are cooking up for us. IG versus Newbee, draft just now beginning. Looks like the bans are, I think, pretty similar to game 1. Don't see any big changes here.
Yes, Lena and Doom once again. IG again have first pick. I was about to say, Newbee probably get some confidence because they know they just beat the IG Brood, although this time around they do decide to ban it out. And with some of these bans, I'd say Brood, Doom, the only obvious kind of tier 1 ban nowadays, and that's kind of left the pool wide open. When you ban out heroes like Lena, Shaker, Brood, also kind of a tier 1 ban, you could argue, against a team like IG, I guess.
One big hero in the series that IG have been running a lot with the introduction of Super to the roster is IO. Something that is not generally that popular in China right now. I guess Vici Gaming, another team that known for FY's IO, but we'll see if they want to run it here. Maybe not something they grab in the first stage.
Yeah, I think that's a kind of
But if this
nice
was the European scene, they would definitely be banning or picking it right away.
And that's a good way to like mix things up. Like you had the Brood game, you had a pretty standard IG draft. You didn't really work out for you. Game 2, you had a different direction. But they give Newbee the SF once again on the Radiant side. You're kind of guaranteed that good farm. Although,
well, this is just begging for the Darkseer ban now if you're IG.
Or do you even go for the Darkseer pick?
Or yeah, that would work as well.
Tusk kind of, I don't really feel like a good Luo here. I feel like this is much more likely to be Chuan's hero.
I feel like for IG, this is normally where they pick like that 430, like Quap or even TA in a lot of their drafts.
Yes. Last game was a first pick Quap even, so this is, I think, a nice time to pick the Quap again. Unless they feel like there's a different hero they want mid against Shadow Fiend. But for now, they pick up support, so Dazzle, pretty good synergy with the Tusk, and doesn't reveal anything at all as far as IG are concerned. The Tusk's still flexible in that he can be either an off-lane hero or a full position support.
Definitely playing their cards close to the vest going to the second phase, and
10 seconds remaining.
I still think about IO right now if I'm Newbee.
Yep.
IG with the obvious Darkseer, like that was beyond obvious. But with the Wyvern pick, the nice thing is it kind of it discourages a little bit the idea of an IO. As does the Shadow Fiend once it gets BKB. You've got the Requiem to worry about.
I wonder if that was maybe partially the reasoning they picked the Wyvern, because they were worried about the IO. Because last game it was SF plus Spirit Breaker. They could have done the exact same opening if they'd wanted to, and Spirit Breaker is a good pick in general, and something that you kind of also block IG from getting in that case.
We're going to see the more standard heroes now getting banned. Ember and Darkseer both removed.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, IG will be looking for just some like aggressive kind of carry for 430 or Rabbit. One of 430 or Rabbit needs to be on something very aggressive and early to mid game focused.
So you mentioned the Rabbit Juggernaut. That's something he's played quite a bit of as of late. The Templar Assassin Dire side, 430 Classic. That seems like a decent option.
I think Jug's great. Really good against the Cold Embrace when you've got Blade Fury doing 750 magic damage. SF is also somewhat prone to the Omni Slash. So
yeah, and Blade Fury is a great way to dodge the vast majority of the Shadow Fiend damage in the early to mid game.
It does, it definitely strikes me as like a solid pick to put into IG's draft if they want to play aggressive and like you're snowballing in, you get nice shots block. Blade Fury is a good follow-up, so Jug does strike me as a hero that will suit IG well here. And then you get like a Jug Quap as your kind of 2-core duo for 430 plus Rabbit.
So why do IG ban Skywrath? Generally, when we see Skywrath banned, it used to be like teams would pick Void and then someone would ban Skywrath, but lately it seems like it's more banned to deal with the silence that the Skywrath brings to the table.
Yeah, so they're planning on picking a Storm type hero or I would have said Ember, but that's been banned out. Planning on picking something that's going to get countered by the silence, wherever that might be. Could be, Quops doesn't like the silence all too much, although...
I don't think anyone loves the silence.
Yeah. The main thing with Wyvern plus Skywrath as your support duo is you've got no lockdown between the two until you get Wyvern level 6 with the Winter's Curse, which is a long cooldown, so you're very lockdown limited. And they go for a
mega
line,
lockdown now.
Yep. And I think maybe seeing the Skywrath ban and thinking, what are they planning on picking if they ban Skywrath? But the other thing to keep in mind is maybe these teams have been playing a lot of Newbee, potentially running a lot of Skywrath just in scrims, maybe just a support they really like to go towards.
Yeah, the Chinese teams have really not played that much compared to any other scene. And so there's your 430 TA. We mentioned it. No big surprise. Gyro, the quick response from Newbee.
Good.
So
good carry against TA a lot of the time. You've got high armor. You can go for like a drums SMY, get a lot of stats. You get good armor out of that to boost up your armor, and Rocket Barrage instantly breaks refraction. So Gyro was always... that TA suddenly became picked a lot more in this patch because Gyro fell off. I feel like that's honestly the biggest buff that happened to TA in 6.85 was the Gyro nerf.
Definitely a good point. He really has not seen that much play. What do IG want? So now they've got their TA. Tusk could be a potential offlaner, maybe a support hero. Either way, they're going to need at least one more core, possibly two.
Yeah, their teamfight's very lackluster when you pick up the TA, which makes me think Rabbit will be more on that teamfight-esque carry. Jug still works okay. Luna gets picked up, though. Whoa, not what I was quite expecting. I think that they've got a lot of weaknesses with their lineup in like the early to mid-game here.
This is just food for in the mid-game for Newbee.
Yeah. Paper draft. For Newbee, they haven't got the best lanes. It's not like they can really pressure them that much early on outside of maybe the Gyrocopter lane, but they're going to play the early game, like laning stage farm game, and then once they get their core items up, they can just run at IG and cause them all kinds of problems.
I've just been consistently underwhelmed by every Luna pick I've seen since like the one game where Vici did well with it at TI. That Secret started spamming it. I think they won one match and then lost all the remaining Luna games they played.
That was when Vici in trouble, they just pick out Luna strat, but I'm not sure if it's...
Newbee will ban out a Chuan Classic and a teamfight specialist now in the Sand King.
Oh yeah, they need teamfight / overall control. Either need like some big teamfight ultimate here, or they need like AoE stuns. Heroes like Sand King. Earthshaker banned out as well, so as far as teamfight goes, there aren't too many options. Spirit Breaker is still possible, I think, for IG. It's kind of teamfight oriented, just with the AoE stuns you can hit from charge. But Lion, always pretty decent at dealing with Spirit Breaker. And also Gyrocopter. He doesn't care that Spirit Breaker's got a ton of armor and EHP when he's got Rocket Barrage to run at him with.
Wow. Mr. Caw.
Unexpected last pick from Newbee for the offlane.
They actually have a pretty weak lineup versus a Phoenix. Very little ability to stop the dive in the laning stage. The Spirit's great against TA for limiting her damage output. And their actual range is very weak. Luna and TA are almost melee heroes for the purpose of killing the egg. So it could be a really good Phoenix game.
Yeah. And often you see Phoenix and you think, oh, IG can easily pick Silencer. Chinese teams love Silencer, but I think it makes their teamfight really
even more of a concern.
I'd rather they pick a Disruptor, I think, because you get a bit of firepower to go with the Silence, and you also have a pretty good lane. Shadow Shaman comes out, so they get some lockdown. It really feels like this is quickly becoming a push lineup from IG, though, with Luna, Shadow Shaman, TA. They want to get the early game laning advantage, take Roshan, and then take towers one by one using Serpent Wards, the Deso damage from a TA, and the pushing power that Luna provides. So late game, IG are in trouble.
Perfect world. Giving me a little heart attack here, but seems everything will be okay. Things will settle down, so we'll see Banana TP bottom. He will again ward up the lane nice and early. Godz, it sounds like you were pretty heavily favoring Newbee. Do you still feel that way after this last pick, Shaman? Does that change anything for you?
I think Newbee have more room for error with their draft. IG have to hit their early game timing and then just never look back. If they ever give Newbee an opening into this game or have like one failed push, and Newbee get off a good high ground defense where they get like 3 or 4 kills and repel IG, I think the game could well be lost off of that. So IG have to play this one very, very perfectly.
And it's such a hard lineup to push into. You've got the Flak spam to kill out waves. The raises are great. Wyvern Splinter Blast. Lion, not the best D pusher. And then more importantly, you push in. If you get caught by the combo, man, you are just so dead. So they are going to have to be very careful when they go for those sieges.
Yep. We'll see what IG can get done in the early game. Last game, Chuan was kind of 50-50 on his early game rotations. The one worked in, they killed the off lane for Newbee, but the ones towards mid were prevented. So Newbee are normally pretty on point as far as dealing with Chuan's early roam.
And don't forget about that big shackle damage buff, though.
Yeah.
That could be the game winner.
It's not bad. Nice. It's something.
I'm not
for
complaining that
Shaman.
Shaman got a buff of
Yep.
some kind, just
No.
maybe not the buff that we were praying for.
I wonder if that changes.
Like
the
maybe
build
not
at all.
having garbage move speed and 1 armor and low stats.
Hey, he's got 335 movement speed with boots. Right now, he's got the move speed advantage as the.
Although I think my Dota's bugged out because it's still saying he has 285.
Oh wow, that's funky. Mine's.
Oh, huge fight maybe breaking out on the river. Courier? And he's a glowy green one, eh?
Yeah, they did good damage back there.
And
That was-
apparently Super has a haste rune. He's 522.
What?
Okay, let's go to Godz here. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you
reconnect to Imperfect World. Are we not able to?
I'm gonna wait a second.
You
for
have
that.
his camera rolling. You may have to dig through the video sources. This is just
We'll get there in a
brutal. We've got Sir Roland on the case while we enjoy a little chop. Looks like you're not lagging at all because Perfect World is just doing Perfect World things.
It's the classic. Hey, I'm sitting right next to you, and one of us has a perfect connection while the other does not. Of Perfect World. But we'll hopefully get things fixed up fairly soon. But right now, yeah, Moo.
All right, you're on.
Gonna
Don't
have-
miss first blood.
Pressure's on. Bottom lane, it's going to be the offlane Luo Tusk. Not a hero he's known for playing. There's a lot of great Tusk players in China, but not just a hero he's not necessarily comfortable on, but ultimately is a hero you kind of need to be able to play.
All right, I'm
getting the
back, and
evil
I
look.
appears to be a normal game of Dota 2 now.
Okay. Have you got heroes with normal move speed and stuff?
Yep.
Phew.
That was strange. I guess it lagged so much that like it didn't record him buying the boots and stuff. I don't know. It was bizarre.
Packet loss or something, yeah. So far, pretty good for IG as far as the lanes go. They've zoned out the Phoenix effectively, although he's about to hit level 2 just by leeching the neutral XP. And mid lane, 430 was doing well, but now with the Wyvern back, he's going to be in trouble. Doesn't
No, not,
go
just
for the raid.
feeling he's going to be a tiny bit short of the kill
Yeah.
there, but they are rotating in Chizbug. And 430 has not seen this coming. They can go for a secondary punish, commits the refraction. They may want to... No creeps, though.
No, and Wyvern, no spells. No Arctic Burn for 25 seconds, so it looks like he's just going to leave an illusion. May try force a TP using that illusion. That could be a nice little play you make there as Phoenix still trying to leech XP. Has actually got level 2.5 just by neutral XP leeching.
Oh, what a fun time it is to lane against the Gyro as pretty much any melee hero.
Yeah.
Quickly loses half his health. Good old memories, Godz.
Just gyrocopter things.
Do you miss your 6.84 Dota?
I thought it was a good patch. I think the patch, this is one of the best patches like Dota's ever seen right now.
6.85.
And I think 6.84 was, like, up until that point was one of the best. There's a few tweaks that need to be made with 6.85 potentially, but too late. He gets caught by the shackles there mid-die. That is a kill.
Luo with the snowball, though, trying to make his retreat out, and in the meanwhile, Moo just hanging back at the tower.
Yeah, Lewis got boots, so he will be okay here.
Chizbug still wants to hunt him.
And
But
they-
he may actually run into a difficult situation here. He's got backup coming. Banana, a level 1 Wyvern, for whatever worth that is. Snowball out available, but they slow him down. They're going to get the stun off. Snowball is going forward, slowly but surely. And it looks like Luo will make it away. Forces 3 heroes to spend their time dealing with him. And you want our mid lane. Moo and 430, pretty much neck and neck after that early pressure on 430.
Yeah. And so far, pretty even play as far as the supports go. Both looking to help out, both Wyvern as well as Dazzle looking to help out the mid lane here and there where possible. And the 2 safe lane farmers getting free farm as you'd expect. Looking at the offlaners though, Tusk level 3, Phoenix level 2.5 hasn't quite got the same out of this lane, but Phoenix definitely fell off as a top pick just because of how weak his lane is with the low armor and the fact he gets zoned out. Even without stuns and silences, you can just crush Phoenix as a ranged support just because of his low armor and the fact he can't really fight you 1v1.
Oh, hey, Cheesebug. You're not welcome here. Go back to bottom. That sentry will zone him away.
Yeah.
One of those moments where if the creep wave's already there, maybe they can even try to set up a kill, but of course with
Tusk
the
does have a
support
TP.
Wyvern in position, that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. Tusk is ready to rotate and help out should a dive or a kill opportunity present itself somewhere on the map. I like that decision from Lua to make sure he has the TP ready. Same with Chuan on the Shadow Shaman. We see TPs on both these two. Got to kind of coordinate who's going to TP first and second when you look to make that rotation.
Triple TP already for IG.
Tusk comes mid, and to see if they can get the SF. He's got backup, though. Banana's
Doesn't have the hill ward. A shard's grab, and he's probably done, especially with the heal bomb. I do not think they've seen uphill yet.
Could get Cold Embrace here. Wyvern's actually holding a skill point. Good play to make at this stage.
Yeah, if you dodge the heal bomb with that, that's a huge play.
Oh, Tule's found a nice little spot up top.
Moltres
Has dived over the cliff, so he didn't chop the trees to where he is, which means they can't actually chase him down.
Yeah. He is kind of out of the picture for any sort of harassment or zoning at this point.
But get some XP just by leeching from the trees. Yeah, just in XP range for most of the creeps, it looks like.
Very cute.
Tower is under attack.
Annoying for Chuan as well.
Yeah. For IG, very much they want to play stack Dota here in the Ancients. I'm surprised Super, you got to stack him right now. He's going to miss one. I think that's going to be a big part of their early game to get the Deso as fast as possible and secure an early Roche, take objectives they want to have.
They were trying for the jump on the bottom lane. The shards not quite where they needed them, and TP does get canceled in the end, so...
That would have been a big kill to get. Gyro pre-level 6, so didn't really have a counterplay without cooldown.
And they maybe think about a jump here on Tule. He's got
he's trapped.
Oh, he's actually already used the dive. He's in a lot of danger. Now caught out by the shackles.
Oh,
Your
Rabbit's
Luna.
really far
Rabbit's gone completely the wrong way. The communication is not there for IG.
Wow.
But it's okay. Chuan will do it himself. One-man wrecking crew here.
Yeah. They must have seen the dive animation over the trees. Like, he must have just got a bit too close to the lane because Rabbit immediately ran towards where he was there. So, definitely a misplay somewhere there from Tule and does get punished for it, despite the miscommunication from IG.
TA does so active, but she's not yet ready to go to the Ancient. She is farming the regular big stacks as Super marches down bottom, but they're going to need a lot of help to kill off this Gyrocopter. If Hao gets off a cooldown, they're in danger. Cooldown comes. It will try to turn the fight. It gets almost cleared off Super as well with the Eclipse as well. It bounces only the creeps, and Rabbit gets fogged. Hao juking, TP, they're not going to fight, and they commit an Eclipse for that, and they walk away empty-handed. That spell just can be very underwhelming compared to that reliable cooldown.
Hao says a silent prayer for the RNGs there.
I feel like Luna's just a poor man's gyro.
Oh yeah, and it's a 2-minute cooldown on the Eclipse.
I know, that's why.
Oh my god.
And it's less reliable.
Oh, that's just crazy. And then he couldn't get the follow-up Lucent Beam with the fog as well. Like that just went as badly as it could have for
And
IG.
credit to Hao, he played it quite well. Could have maybe dropped the cooldown a bit sooner, but the fogging was very nice.
Yeah. So went back in a bit too. Like he really pushed his hero's limits there, and then he's like, "Oh crap, that's a Luna with a cooldown, with an Eclipse. Got to back off a little bit." So
even if he dies, they committed 3 heroes and a Luna Eclipse for the kill. So it's a good kill, but it's not the end of the world by any means for Newbee.
Absolutely, that's where you have to get that kill for IG, and it's worth it and all. But not getting the kill means they've wasted so many heroes' time and resources to get absolutely nothing. Also, given Tule in the off lane a decent amount of experience, he has no issues laning and getting XP against a Shaman here. It is Shaman who's out leveling him, though, so this is still, big picture-wise, what IG want. They want to get the level 6 at a good time on Chuan, and that's why Luna makes that rotation. It's more about giving Chuan a free lane than Rabbit securing himself the kill, although you do want the kill.
They're making their move on Tule, gets hexed up by Chuan. The follow-up shackles are there. Lucent Beam secures it, but Rabbit has been roaming for this. He smoked with the team top and starts to fall behind a bit in terms of CS.
Oh, yeah. Bring in Moo to defend this.
Moo, who quickly raises and draws back the wave, so no free tower given to IG. But meanwhile, bottom will be a free tower. This one going to Newbee. Hao now completing his first bracer en route to the likely drums.
Curious to see what
Things
Rabbit
looking
goes
good
on
here
Luna.
for Newbee.
Yeah, Rabbit may go for drums as well if they want to push early and take a look at towers. But something you often see on these drafts where you go for this all-in push strat is you back it up with some late game assurance. Get something like a Helm of the Dominator, so you push down all these towers, and if for whatever reason you can't break the high ground, which is always likely against a lineup with cooldown and Splinter Blast, you have the backup farm that the Ancient stack provide you. And they can't stop you stacking Ancients when you're the ones on the aggressive pushing towers. So I'd almost rather see something like a Helm of the Dominator out of Rabbit, even though they are going for an early game push draft. And the stats, the armor, there's still attributes which help you go for a push lineup.
Yeah, you take the tier 1s, that might be easy enough with the wards, but by the time you get to the tier 2s, they're going to have Winter's Curse as well as the Finger, and that's where things get dicey if you overcommit as IG. So I would agree. I think getting a little farm insurance would be nice.
They're smoking Roche here. Chuan's pinging. He's picked up a smoke. He's pinging things out. It looks like 430. Not going to go in just yet. Wants to stack the Ancients once and then either farm this or back off and smoke with Chuan. They're seeing right on
Radiant
observer
squad
window.
has seen these Ancients prowling around. They tried for a D-Ward, Godz, but they missed by quite a fair margin. And now Hal pokes his head in, breaches high ground successfully. Moo gonna show towards mid, and Newbee are now scouted. 430, the first man to do it. They drop the cooldown. They're gonna X him up with Chizbuk. Follow-up stun comes through. The rocket barrage was already used though, and 430 was not visible. Now the Eclipse comes from behind. A good one by Rabbit. Might be enough to get the kill on Hal as well. Caught by the last Lucent Beam. They secure it. Moo requiems, but doesn't really have much in the way of backup. Off on the high ground is Banana. Nearly being finished off, trying to kill up the egg. Solo is 430. He'll succeed in doing so. IG just out fighting Newbee at every step of this one. It's 4 heroes down. Began really poorly for the Gyro when he blew his rocket barrage in the fog and did not manage to kill a 430, and it only got worse from there.
Yeah, they couldn't break the refraction using the rocket barrage, so cooldown as well as Lion's Impale were both blocked by the refraction, which is 2 big damage output spells which they needed to kill the TA to start the fight. Even if they hit that, maybe the Dazzle gets off the grave in time and it's still a bad fight, but I don't think Dazzle is going to make that grave without the extra bit of time being bought from the refraction dodging those spells.
Look at this. They say screw it.
Round 2. Okay.
First time didn't work. Second time, no problem. We're trying again.
430 will be low and may not have a refraction up.
And he may not finish these Ancients in time.
Yeah.
They could be able to get the initiation off here. Super's up on the high ground to protect him. They're going to Hex 430 to start. The cooldown comes through. Will connect onto a Super. Turns for the grave. 430. No TP out just yet. Doesn't look like he's going to get it off. They should be able to at least grab the TA. They hunt for more.
We could have actually TP'd during the grave. There was no follow-up stuns. They used everything on the engagement. So definitely mistake not TPing out there, but IG looking to bounce back.
But now Tule gets caught in the Snowball Shards combination along with Chizbug. He may go down as well. Good cold embrace by Banana. Still not level 6 IG. Going 1 for 1 there, plus the big smoke commitment.
Yep.
Didn't see who got the rest of the Ancients. I guess Hal must have finished them off.
Yeah,
or
I think Hal
or maybe
got
Moo.
a few of what was left of it. Majority was farmed by the TA, now Banana.
Articuno, no! Moltres will save you. Looking for
He's
the
out
jump
for
forward.
revenge.
I missed my Pokemon, man, but they're going to blast Hal up in the air. As Rabbit drops low, tries for the TP out. The damage over time, just enough with the Rocket Barrage to finish the kill. They get the Luna as well. And now Hal hunting deeper. He's got a fresh cooldown. Ready to rock and roll. Lua winding his way through the trees. Wants to re-engage, but that Rocket Barrage forcing him back in a hurry. And while that's going on, 430 waits in anticipation. Sees Moo diving, may try to turn on him. They have Wrangle down. Lua almost finishing off. Snowball coming through. Could he finish the job? Being dragged back into another Rocket Barrage, and that will be that. Down he goes while the Requiem gets deployed. Looks like 430 got away. Chuan also managed to squirm his way out of that. Crazy little skirmish. But in the end, Newbee do come out pretty heavily on top.
That was just sick awareness from Newbee to go for that second insta-smoke, using a smoke right after a failed one, knowing that IG thought would probably just play a bit cocky because, oh, the smoke just failed, let's just farm the Ancients now, and IG just get caught out, punished. Lure then sticks around, gets baited in, gets killed off again, and after that, Newbee find themselves with a bit of an early game lead, which is not something their lineup's meant to have right now.
Zapping Super down. Chizbug will grab a solo kill. Good use of the level 6 there. And, you know, the other thing, I think that really speaks to the strength of the Newbee team fight. That they can lose a big team fight, they just come right back. Eclipse is on cooldown, wards are on cooldown, and IG can't fight without them. Like you said, really good game sense.
Yeah. Gyrocopter is just such a beast at this stage of the game. Luna looks like picks up an Ogre Club. They're not pushing towers, so this is where the Helmet Dominator build doesn't work as well, because you didn't secure your Ancients. If you get Roche, secure Ancients, start pushing tier 1s. The Helmet Dominator works great, but with the pace of this game and being on the back foot, looks like a BKB rush is going to be the name of the game for Rabbit.
Yeah, still, there's a decent amount of physical damage from the Shadow Fiend as well as just the Winter's Curse for lockdown, but it's not enormous by any means.
And again, Moo just having a great start, a lot of farm on SF. He's a full almost 2,000 net worth ahead of TA. Last game he was kind of neck and neck for most of the early game and didn't pull ahead until later. This time it's much scarier for the IG squad and IG fans out there when you look at how farm Newbee's SF is.
They're trying to catch too late top. They initiate with the Snowball. Eclipse is available. He's going to dive back, but interrupted by the Lucent Beam of Rabbit. Very well executed pick off there. They will take down the Phoenix again, who has been struggling a bit. Looks like Midas Recipe is his next objective. Up to 1396 gold. 6-9 your score at 15 minutes. Now Hal moves in. He's going to run right into Super. Oh, hello, Dazzle. Where do you think you're going, buddy? No TP. Doesn't even bother with the grave. Just accepts his sad, lonely fate.
It's unfortunate. Dazzle just trying to wander on in, get down a deep observer ward, but was scouted out by the Roche Pit ward. May reveal the fact that Newbee have a ward that he walked past to get there, but it's always a question of exactly where it was.
Ward's got dropped down mid, but Chuan just getting on creeps here and there. He's going to feed the entire ward pile away.
Yeah, that's decent.
That's a lot of gold. That's the Midas recipe now for 2 light. Chizbug up to 1100. That's pretty good farm for a Lion at this stage, all things considered.
Yep. Well, Lion's in really good shape.
Making their move on Luo. Needs to snowball to something here. Got to buy time for him. Luna, Eclipse available. It's only level 1, though. Requiem. And then the follow-up. One more raise gets it done. Move. Again, dominating on Shadow Fiend. This is 2 games in a row now where he's just always been on top. I don't think I've seen him not on top the net worth chart once in these 2 games.
Moo's just playing better than ever. Like it really feels like this is like Moo in his TI4 like form from what we've seen, not just today but also during the Frankfurt Majors. I felt like it's hard to even attribute his good play to Hal being back on the team. Like it is this great duo where they work so well together, but it just feels like he's stepped up his game, regardless of the team being overall stronger. And we're seeing Moo not really known for like any signature heroes outside of maybe his Templar Assassin, but he's just playing SF to its full capacity right now.
I think IG already smoked once to get in position. It looks like they might be smoking for this. Well, they are smoking at least once, if not for the second time. 430 will get burst off the bat. They've got the level 2 Eclipse, though.
Let's say this is not where IG want to be for a fight.
But very spread out with Luo off near the tower. Awkward way to engage in.
Rabbit's got invis. That's the one thing going Newbee's way.
Eclipse gets popped. It's going to start hitting on How as well as too late. Needs to pop the egg. Does not do so. Dies instantly. Now with the Eclipse coming out, they may lose Rabbit too. The Winter's Curse is there, though, setting up for Moo, who quickly finishes off one. Snowball getting dragged onto Chizbug, and Luo will be next as the Hex comes through. Hal just pokes his head back out. They never even finished him off. And at that point, IG will pause, take a moment. But they are getting consistently beaten down in these fights.
Yeah. They didn't burst down Hal during all of that. That was the big thing there. I don't know if they felt threatened by the Phoenix showing up to the fight or what it was, but Hal had just enough HP to survive with the Sanj as well as what looked like full Magic Wand charges, giving him that bit of burst heal. So, not the result IG were hoping for when they used the Eclipse just on the solo Gyrocopter.
Reminds me of when Sniper was getting picked a lot, and you'd see players at first were rushing the Yasha, and then it quickly became apparent, like, you get your Mask of Madness, then you get the Sanj, so that you don't die instantly in the fights. And the Sanj making the difference again here.
Yep. It's going to be Sanj and Yasha in more than one place as Moo picks up one for himself as well.
Item gives you everything you could ever want.
They're going to be all healthy again soon. Cold Embrace onto Hao. He's healing up. He wants to push and fight. Knowing Eclipse is on cooldown, as well as the Serpent Wards, which would just drop bottom, signaling that IG will not look to fight into Newbee right now.
Juan's going to walk past the Radiant Ward. Can they punish this? He is up the hill.
Newbee not in the best position. They don't really want to be tanking tower shots here.
Oh, do they try to chase Hao up the cliff? He has the call down, not dropping it, though, before they engage onto him, and down he goes. They get off the egg. This time they do, but it's in the front lines with Rapid focusing on a teamwork from IG, but still burning quickly in the flames, and this allows Moo to do his work. Super on the way out. 430 also retreating very low here. It's Dazzle down to just a sliver of HP as Luo comes in from the rear. They've already lost 2, and they're still trying to fight their way through this. Moo rather tanky, but is he really tanky enough to handle the whole 5-man squad? Now on the run. The trap's there. They're going to hang on to him with the shackles. They'll pop him. And IG will clean up 3. Gotta say, Hao needs to be quicker on these cooldown drops.
And they just hung around too long. I think even if he gets the cooldown off, he dies. He's isolated. He retreated a different direction to his team. Was it pretty easy Ishud's block for Luo to hit, and then from there, like, he's isolated. He's going to get brought down. The cooldown would have meant that I'd say SF probably lives if he gets the cooldown off. So big mistake coming out from Luo, not using it on the snowball.
I definitely agree. He still dies there. He's very dead.
Newbee's biggest mistake that fight was just sticking around. They very much underestimated what IG wanted to do there, thinking that, oh, they use Serpent Ward's bottom lane, the Eclipse is on cooldown. Doesn't mean IG have no fighting capabilities. Newbee themselves, without BKBs, just aren't able to really hold their own if IG get a good enough engagement, which Luo gave them.
Big item is coming for Newbee now, though, as Chizbug zeroes in on a Blink Dagger. Sub 20 minutes on
He's farming
Poor
well.
position line. He's doing pretty well, and at the same moment, the Phoenix will grab a Midas. So it seems Newbee gonna settle down, but IG get that big boost of momentum now as Chuan closes in on his own Aghanim Scepter. The TA Deso was just completed. Now 430, about to grab a Blink, I imagine. And even your Luna, Yasha, on the way.
Yeah, this game suddenly becomes a lot more even, and IG can now go back to their plan.
Yeah, look at that.
And this is where IG were hoping to be at 20 minutes in. They want to have a Shadow Shaman who's pretty farm, working on an Aghanim Scepter. They want to have the ability to take towers one by one, and for a TA with Aegis Deso to just give that extra bit of damage. I think ideally they would have taken all the tier 1s by 20 minutes, so they're going to hit their timing a little bit late, but it doesn't really hurt them too much because they can go for these pushes now with Aegis where they don't even have to drop Serpent Wards for a tier 1. They can just get the tier 1 by the sheer fact that they've got BKB on Luna and a TA Deso, and then hold the Serpent Wards either for the tier 2s or for the fight that may break out later on if Newbee try and engage. I think Chuan's best move will be holding off using them.
And the Ags is very close now, only 750 gold to go. I'm talking about the Lions farm, but Chuan is...
Yeah,
he's been spending a lot of time not really helping the team, so it is a bit of a trade-off, but with that one nice fight at Roche, it's paid off.
Wow, Newbee have heroes up here, and this is just, to me, not the time to fight. You've gone double SMY, which is fine.
Has a haster, and he's baiting this. He wants them to come in. Shizbug will initiate, reveals the Blink Dagger. Now the cooldown comes through. On the boundary is Rabbit. 430 gets pounded. Quickly going to lose his Aegis. A beautiful curse for Madana. Where's the follow-up? Now they deploy the Egg, and IG are a bit far away to try and turn on this. It'll be only up to Rabbit to try and lock it down. He decides, screw it, I'm getting out of here as the Lucid Beams crash down on a catapult of all things. Man, that change really hurts your Luna in this particular fight. And now Rabbit in trouble. They've already cracked the Aegis. In a headlong retreat, Rabbit will be graved, has a teleport. Can he make it out in time? He tries. He tries. He does go down to the neutral of all things. Oh, the luck. Still, Lua will die. 3 down, an Aegis expended. Clowny little fight there.
Yep. And they never used the Serpent Wards. I was kind of talking about holding them, not using them for the tower, which I think is a good move. But if a fight breaks out, if Newbee come to defend, you use them for the fight. You either want to use the wards for a tier 2 tower or a fight. And the fight came, he didn't get the chance to drop him. Importantly for Newbee, they had haste on Mu there, so it just gave him that extra bit of mobility, and they brought down the Aegis at no real cost. The cooldown the cooldown was used, which isn't, it's not a big spell to have on cooldown if you've got the positional advantage, which Newbee did because they were defending their tier 1, so they just did a really good job of taking an Aegis for free and not giving Chuan an opening to drop Serpent Wards.
And I like the way the Banana and Tule fought that. Tule waits for the Winter's Curse, gets back far enough that only Luna can hit the egg, and then the rest of the team had already run away from the cooldown. So at that point, guaranteed Supernova.
If Luna had a bit more attack speed, it looks like a Yasha will come out now.
Maybe with the Yasha could have done it.
Yeah, it was still a level 1 Supernova. Now it's going to be a level 2 Ultimate. So from here on out, Luna probably can't solo kill the egg, which she probably could have that fight. I don't know if she realized that it was level 1 egg still, or maybe just didn't have the attack speed during the BKB, but... it likely would. If you don't kill it, you're dead, and the fight's even worse. So it would have been a risky play to go for.
430 going in biz, turning on Chizbug, but the quick draw Hex may punish him in the end. No finger available, but they've got the cooldowns. The lockdown with the Winter's Curse to bust up 430. And he will fall again.
Yeah, 430's had a rough game. It's just, he's so hard countered by the Cold Embrace, the Fire Spirits, everything about this draft. All 4 or 5 heroes are great against him. Like, which of these heroes actually is bad against TA?
He actually could have killed. He actually could have killed Chizbug and gotten out because he had a DD rune bottled up there.
Oh,
if he had popped it and then melded, I think
no.
maybe that was the plan and he just forgot. But that hurts. I think if he gets that kill, he runs away.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Still, though, like you said, rough game for him. He's been under a lot of pressure. SF got a lot of help mid. The Ancient Stacky was a bit slow. Well, now Chuan will unveil his Ags. This is what he's been farming for. He dodged away from the fight top earlier, TP'd bottom on a sliver of HP to farm. He better make this count. Now coming in hot and heavy. He's going to start tanking Eclipse, though. Rabbit really counterplaying this nicely, but now that the Eclipse is down, they want to engage further. They have the egg available. How running away. This leaves the egg surrounded by 3 heroes. That should be enough to bring it down. And Rabbit pops the Phoenix. Chuan retreats as well. Graved up, trying to survive. Super on the TP out. Moo narrowly missing the raise. Oh, just barely.
Everyone out. Okay, that's
Didn't
great.
have the vision.
They kill Lion as well as Phoenix and get out without a casualty. That is as good as it gets for IG. And they got the tier 2 tower trade.
Man, look at Chuan. 24 health.
Yeah, he just boss mode.
Squirming back.
I mean, Phoenix got put in a rough position there. That you can't really blame the Phoenix for that egg because Gyro went charging in, didn't hit the cooldown. Chuan just got out of the AoE range of it. If you clip Chuan with it, the fight probably goes okay, but Phoenix very much had to dive in and supernova just to save the gyrocopter, which is why the egg wasn't all too great.
If the gyro has a BKB, he can totally pull that off.
Yeah.
But with no BKB, that's a risky play.
So that was much more on Hao than on Tule as far as the bad fight goes for Newbee, but still in a pretty good position. They're controlling this game with a farmed SF gyrocopter. Their late game's still looking a lot more scary than IG's, but it's always risky. You lose a fight as Newbee if you don't have buybacks, and suddenly you got Ag Serpent Wards on your high ground with a Deso TA. You're losing a lane of racks damn fast.
430, not showing that explosive TA farm that we've generally come to expect here. Just the Deso, even with the Roshan, only 1200 banked up after the BKB, but now he's a little bit safer in the fight. Still looks like predominantly AoE and magic damage from Newbee.
Yeah, the gyro is going to take a long time to get any physical damage up, but it's always a kind of trade-off where you get the BKB early, you don't have the charges in the late game.
Chizbug finding the openings here. They're going to curse Rabbit, totally lock him down and finger him. He will fall.
That's
good chain stun there.
Greedy place to be farming. You can't even BKB TP out when you're up against a Winter's Curse. Maybe you can try and BKB fight, but that's not going to
I don't think he even had a ward unless one just expired.
Yeah.
He's just been on point with these initiations.
Had a ward much deeper in the Radiant jungle, but there's so many ways they can bypass it by coming through the mid lane. So IG, be careful about some of the plays like that. Rabbit has had a great game. He's 9-4. Well, was 9-3 before that, and he's been farming very well, considering how many heroes in the game are so good at killing him. The damage output from heroes like Lion, Gyrocopter, SF is hard to deal with.
Ah, the Rat King Shaman. Memories of AUI 2000. Used to do this a lot way back in the day on Cloud9.
Now with Blink Dagger. May look for a play here at top, but Phoenix is ready.
Oh, mama, that's a lot of lockdown. Hao will get caught, completely surrounded, focused down, and now too late, in a bit of danger. He will dive back. Banana's here to cover him. Nice that is the reveal of the Shaman Blink, and boy, it was a successful.
And the TA Blink. The double Blink coming out from Shaman TA. And that's nothing Too Late can do. Phoenix sitting behind him thinking, okay, if they come in, I'll have enough time to get in there and disrupt things so that Hao can get off his BKB, but not when it's an insta-blink engagement. So, nice little gank, and IG need to keep finding pickoffs. Now is the time to use their smokes, try and find as many pickoffs as possible, and keep Newbee under pressure.
I still maintain Moo has not felt any pressure in either of these games. This guy, 225 CS.
He just farms. Like, I think that's part of the thing with Moo. It's like, oh, no one thinks like it's like an RT easy or a 430 or maybe. Like, you hear these players' names, and if they're in SF, you're like, we got to gank this guy. We got to shut him down. But
Rabbit turns with the Eclipse, will finish off Chizbug, then onto Banana, who may go down as well to the Eclipse. Oh, Cold Embrace. There is a Lucent Beam. No, he'll get the double kill. Now he may pay with the BKB on cooldown. No teleport available, but love it from Rabbit. Gets two instead of just feeding. Now the turn. Egg will get deployed.
Oh, Luo, please.
Luo sprinting away now that he's baited it out, but Moo's there with the chase. The meme, not enough as he blinks into the trees, and Luo should be able to get away. And buyback on the Wyvern here.
Yeah, I guess worried about the high ground push. If Shaman gets the wards down, it's a very quick high ground, a very quick tier 3 tower. Wards were on cooldown. Maybe they just didn't quite know the cooldown on it. But wanting to make sure that Shadow Shaman is scared of going near the Newbee base. But
this is Shaman does get he gets the refresher. Like it gets really scary if you slip up against him.
Oh yeah. So Newbee have to be pretty careful. I mean, kind of talked about IG's lineup having not that much room for Eric compared to Newbee's. At this point, though, now that Newbee have lost a decent number of their outer towers and have not really allowed Chuan to farm his axe, Chuan's just gone off and farmed himself. Newbee also have small room for error.
Showing themselves mid, but not wanting to jump the big bad Shadow Friend. It's actually Chizbug who goes in first. He'll find the Tusk, gets the stun off. Blink Dagger, lockdown, unable to use it. Gets the raise kill. Moo set up again by Chizbug, who continues to impress and make the big plays here while we see Super ratting the top lane as a puny dazzle. But this will not deter Newbee in the slightest. They want to push in.
Yeah, I don't think they're actually scared of that. They'll be scared as soon as they see Shadow Shaman appear on the map up there. But right now, Quan just sitting at the mid lane. Isn't able to thread in the high ground, but there's enough. Like, there's a creep wave on your high ground here. I think you would consider trying to break through.
Well, it seems my feed is frozen, so we're going to hop over to yours, Mr. Parker, momentarily.
That's risky.
Still maintain Moo is not...
I'll do my best.
Looks like they have brought in Super at 430 top lane.
Yeah.
Oh, your Twitch is on.
Oh, whoops. Well, I can't really change that now, can I?
All right, I'll try to.
Give me a sec,
we'll try to
guys.
reset my feed, guys. Moment of pressure here while things start burning all around us.
Let me. I can fix that in just a second, but yeah, right now Newbee are the ones who kind of just want to be careful of IG. Next Roshan will be a big point of contest for both the two, as it has respawned, scouted up by IG, and I'm sure Newbee are aware of this. They've got double BKBs. They definitely do want to fight this one. It's going to be a matter of how can they deal with the physical damage of a BKB TA, BKB Luna. Here we go, coming into the Roshan pitch. Bug leads away, gets the Hex on Rabbit. He can't BKB. The Impale there as well on Rabbit.
They're not done yet.
Roll
The
down.
Twan looking to turn this one around, but the egg gets off, and then Moo reigns supreme. Almost finish up an additional
There's
hero.
no wards.
They bought back on the Luna. They want to fight their way through this, but Luo's down next, and even with the Luna looking to rejoin the fight, they're zapping 430. He goes in, but he gets cursed and turned, and now the Eclipse comes through, but it's evenly spread between 4 heroes. Can they really finish the job? Maybe it's enough. IG do find 3. Buyback comes out from the line. A 4th hero going down. The Rabbit buyback gambit pays off, and they will turn the fight around. Thank God they're dire.
All right, that one works out.
And our catastrophe is averted now.
Phew.
We've got the feedback.
All right, well, I've got my Twitch muted, so if we need mine. It's muted now.
Such a slacker. Not even paying attention to the game. What a bum. But no slouches here on the IG side, guys.
Yeah, they had to use double buyback, so it was, what, both their TA...
It was just one
Oh,
buyback.
no, Lion
only the-
buyback.
it was
Yeah,
only
only
the-
Luna, okay.
Only the Luna.
So definitely a worthwhile exchange there. Luna using the buyback to secure that good fight. They bring down the SF Gyrocopter in exchange. Big win for IG, and a must-win Roche fight. I feel like if they give Newbee the win there and Newbee get themselves Aegis, it just buys so much time for SF Gyrocopter to itemize for the late game. SF needs his Skadi. He needs... Like, I was actually surprised SF didn't spend his money. If SF has a Skadi there, I think that fight goes a whole lot better for Newbee. He just has the extra HP to survive the Eclipse, the slow, as well as the extra armor to be able to hold his ground against the right-click damage of TA and Luna. So I don't think that was like a good move from Moo, just banking up lots of cash when such a key fight's about to happen. Because he didn't end up needing... Like, you're fighting at Roshan. If you lose the fight, you've got time to respawn and come back before the push comes your way. So it's not like you're at threat of losing the game if you don't have buyback money.
IG are going to find Chizbug here, and 2 quick shots from 430 will bring him down.
Yep.
He had a moment there where the creep saw the heroes running in, but a bit too slow on the reaction.
Well, this puts Newbee under a lot of pressure here. They just... Only the BKBs on their 2 cores. They don't have the best high ground defense without items. And this is where buying a Skadi for a high ground defense is much riskier than buying the Skadi for the Roche fight, because you're defending right by your base. So if you die when you've got Skadi by your base, suddenly you lose a lane of racks. It's a very different scenario to the dying without buyback by the Roche pit.
Gyro farming up a nice hefty stack of Ancients here, while we also see Rabbit getting towards a Butterfly. It's been quite some time since I've seen a Luna actually get those big tier 4 items, Godz, but this might be the game. Now closing in on the Gyro, not too far off the Shadow Fiend, and the other big winner, 430, with either a Daedalus or an MKB about to come out.
Yep. So see what SF has picked up. It looks like it will be ACs flying it out now to the shop. So it won't be a Skadi. The AC just worried about the physical damage more than the actual Eclipse, I guess, at this point, since he doesn't go for the Skadi. And there's a ton of physical damage. It's not just the TA Luna. You've got Serpent Wards as well, Walrus Punch, the Weave in the picture. So AC, a core item for someone on the Newbee side, and Moo the one who had the most money to spare. But he's got no buyback.
But Super's going to reveal this, and they get the Hex off of Moo. Like you mentioned, can't afford to lose him right now. The Winter's Curse comes out. It's on 430 Rabbit and Luo. And now Moo might be able to turn, though he dies to the physical damage, and they roll forward. Snowball doing some work there. Tusk explodes, but he took one for the team. No buyback on the Shadow Fiend. Tulay dead. Nobody's got a buyback on Newbee. 5 down. The one man who's got it is the Gyro, and he ain't scaring anyone without his next big damage item. A 5-man wipeout. IG just out executing Newbee in the fights.
Yeah. That was, and they had the better positioning. That was the most important thing. There was they got the jump onto the Shadow Fiend, who did not get off the BKB until it was already over. He survived thanks to the Winter's Curse being absolutely incredible, but no Requiem even came out. He tried to run while the curse was going off just because he knew he has no buyback. If he has buyback there, he can just throw his Requiem, do as much damage as he possibly can, and then get out of it, and then die and have the buyback to defend high ground. But Newbee were put in a position where they had to fully engage and commit everything because in a terrible location because SF had no buyback and got caught. So the timing of it could not have been better for IG.
Missile will crash into Rabbit, but they've taken that first lane of racks. IG trying to force a game 3 and stay alive in the winner's bracket. They back off now, gonna slow the game down, and all of a sudden you can just see the net worth change. Now Templar Assassin back on top. This is more what we're accustomed to seeing from TA in this patch. With 3,200 gold banked. Rabbit having already completed the butterfly. Mata, if he wants it, very close to completion. Big items coming out,
and Tia gets to complete the Daedalus, which is the better item than the MKB. Because she saw the Assault Cuirass as well as Gyro's Demon Edge, you know that there's no evasion coming, so you don't have to worry about getting an MKB. So IG itemized perfectly to counter what their opponents are doing. TA waited till the items to get bought, and elsewhere you're looking at like Shadow Shaman almost completing a refresher now. Things just going to get more and more difficult for Newbee now.
Man, this game really fell off a cliff for Newbee. Look at that drop on the graphs.
Yeah. It was just two fights where IG executed so well, kind of as you mentioned, and just had the better jump, better positioning. You look at Roshan and then that fight there, and those are just the two decisive fights. If not for those fights, it's Newbee who are the ones leading in control of this game.
No gem yet for either team, though I wouldn't be surprised to see IG grab one soon, try and wrest back a little more map control. So we see a confident movement here from Rabbit. He's going to grab his Reaver from the enemy side shop, so into the Satanic he's going.
He's had a hell of a game, and the Aegis still on. Oh no, the Aegis no longer online. Will be, I guess. Okay, so
couple minutes.
Just wore off. Okay, so let's say can they go for another Aegis push? Then you're in trouble on Newbee side. But okay, so no more Aegis. Looks like a 4-minute respawn from now, so it's like a.
And by the way,
short.
Chuan almost has refresher.
Yeah, he's massive. Cool.
He's got 13k net worth, and the enemy Phoenix with a Midas sits at a measly 9.6k. Well, that's what being 4-2 and 13 will do for you.
Yeah,
I just don't know how they... I feel like they just can't fight in their base against that.
Yeah, against Shaman, it's always been like... The hero used to be a top pick, and very much the way to play against it was you went for the smoke play, and then you try and jump and get the catch outside of your base, burst down the Shadow Shaman. Even if he gets the wards off, at least it means the fight breaks out and you're not at danger of losing a lane of racks. So it seems that may be what Newbee have in mind with how far forward they pushed. I like that Hal's picked up the Talisman of Evasion, sees the TA Daedalus, and just wants the value evasion for now. And neither carry on the dire side with any sort of an MKB. So we'll make bringing down Hal a little bit trickier.
Yeah, 430 not going one either. Looks like he's also getting an AC. Grabs the Hyperstone. Maybe a Moon Shards, but guessing it will be an AC.
We're entering the late game. Both teams' BKB starting to get whittled away at. Most importantly, it's been Rabbit on the Luna, who's taken a big hit, down to 5 seconds. Newbee still with 8-second BKBs, which is important. You definitely need the long BKBs against the Luna Eclipse. And Shaman and Tusk also dish out a lot of disables and annoying magic damage.
The map just feels very scary for Newbee right now. The night is dark and full of terrors.
And they're in similar... Because of that, I feel like they also benefit a lot from a gem right now. Even when you're playing from behind like this, you want to make sure your opponents don't see you when you leave your base. So picking up a gem for Newbee also likely in their best interests.
Ooh, DD Rune. Good to deny this to 430, perhaps more than anything.
Yeah.
But Newbee will claim it. Refresher completed at that very moment as Banana squeaks out a ward. Just getting what little he can off the map. Things will settle down now at 39 minutes. A tense game here down the stretch. What was once an impressive 5k gold lead, even just an even game, is now colossally IG favored. But the team fight of Newbee Godz, it's such that I feel like you just can't count them out yet.
No, not by any means. And that's where...
And this could even maybe be a rapier from Hao if he wants to risk it.
Not a bad idea. You just need anything you can get for the high ground defense. The butterfly, to me, just not going to be a high impact enough item. You've got the talent. You just want the evasion more than anything, and he's already got that. And I think very much importantly, when you're this far behind, already down a lane of racks, you don't save for buybacks. I think that's where Newbee really lost the Roche fight as well as that. Yeah, SF, they lost that second fight because SF didn't have buybacks, but they'd been too conservative with buying these items. Mu could have had a Skadi or the AC earlier at the fight, which they could win at Roche, so... and very much that second fight they lost was more a positioning thing than a buyback matter.
The other reason I think it's a rapier is the way they're following him around. Like, there's 4 heroes. Mu's not even really farming. He's just kind of sitting behind Hao.
It is a butterfly Luna, so there's still the evasion to worry about, but...
That's true.
If you see a push coming your way with an Aegis TA or an Aegis Luna and Refresher Shadow Shaman, you're thinking you want a rapier, not an MKB.
Yeah, it's only 1 hero out of the whole IG squad. They don't have a Solar Crest
They
yet.
know they need to catch out Chuan, but it doesn't look like they're going to get a chance to do so. Super!
Quick reactions on the 4-staff. Skates back towards safety as Mu will dodge the stun, but oh, the Winter's Curse only under 430. Nobody there to follow this up at 430. Starts going to work, chopping wood on Hao, forcing him back. The egg will go off, though, stunning everybody, but where's the follow-up to the egg? Doesn't look like they have a whole hell of a lot as 430 hunts Hao through the trees. The Talisman doing what he can, but a great catch! Luo there to save IG again, and yet another kill. GG! We're going to a game 3.
Yeah, Chuan actually held his second Refresher wards just for the high ground push should Newbee not tap out, or should the fight have maybe gone more 50-50. He still had a way to break a lane of racks, and IG win the fights that matter. I think the biggest one was that Roche fight where the buyback on Luna, just you come back, you bring the Eclipse, and suddenly Newbee, they won the initial outbreak because they had their BKBs, and then when Luna arrives with Eclipse and you have no BKBs, they were just stuffed, so...
The cool thing about that fight was, yeah, like you're saying, the BKBs were on cooldown. Yeah. Oftentimes, she pops Eclipse, everyone just kind of laps and starts auto-attacking, but not the case in that fight, guys.
Because Luna was quite, not underfarmed at that point, but didn't dish out right-click damage. It was like BKB Yasha only, so we weren't really too worried about Luna being able to get kills. The TA had the Deso, but Wyvern was still alive, so Cold Embrace could counter it, but... It
still felt like this should have been Newbee's game, though. That, not to say that IG didn't play really well, but if Newbee doesn't make those mistakes, I don't think IG gets back in this one.
Yes, I think Mu, again, should have bought up an item before the Roche fight. Very much that was either an AC or a Skadi would have made a big difference in that fight. Either of those 2 items, he just had 5.3k gold lying around. Like, it's not worth having that much money saved up when you're still in the early game.
When you're still tier 2s, you have the lanes pushed out pretty well.
You're not in the ultra late game yet. Like, that's where the buybacks are essential, but he was very much at a stage where he could easily risk not having buyback on a hero like SF. You're not like an Ember Spirit who can instantly remnant back in and do a lot. You're an SF who just will lose your souls, and your second life doesn't really contribute much to your team.
So. Agreed. So that's game 2 in the bag. We've got a game 3 coming up.
Yep.
IG versus Newbee, guys. You're watching the Summit for China. After this match, we will have, I believe it's eHome versus Tongfu as our second match of the Chinese doubleheader. And then later today, we'll have some North American Dota. I believe Lyrical is going to be bringing that together with Winter, perhaps. So anyway, guys, take a break, but don't go too far. Game 3 coming up after this.